Bold.
Podcast.
What is up, guys, and welcome to the Bowl Podcast, where every topic is decided by the Bowl. Today, I have a special guest, and let me tell you, this woman right here is one of the hardest working women I've ever seen. Like, you know those people you see their Instagram and their posts, like, it's not like posts like, yeah, I'm working out at the gym. It was like, oh, I'm about to go sell this house. All right, I'm in this country. I'm like, this is every day. So, without further ado, Ashley, what's going on? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Bowl. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm a little nervous.
What? Why?
I don't know. Who knows what's in this bowl?
No, you know, it's funny because everybody, like I told you, everybody has said that they're always nervous, but it's cool. You know, the Bowl usually gives some good topics. I mean, they're deep topics, but not like deep. It's like chill. But I have had some people almost shed tears on here. It's like,
geez.
you know what I mean? It's like Dr. Phil, you know. Not
Oh,
really. No, not really.
Dang
I'm just messing with you. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. What I do in the beginning usually is I'll pray. Now I did tell my other guests I forgot a couple of episodes, but still love God. So I'm gonna pray, and then after that we can go ahead and go forward from there. All right?
Perfect.
Is that cool? All right. Thank you, God, for this podcast. Thank you, God, for Ashley for providing this room for us to do this podcast in. Lord, I bless you for this show, for this idea, and thank you for all the guests that I've had so far. I pray that you multiply it, that you lift it up for your glory, not me, but you, God. I bless you. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. All right, so I always ask people, how do you remember how we met or where we met?
I know you from school.
Yes.
So,
That's
high
good.
School.
Yeah, that's right. And I was thinking about, did you used to have braces?
Yes.
Okay, so this is
I had braces.
this is okay. This is the crazy thing, because I remember you in high school, and like I was like, man, because I was thinking about it. I was like, I always ask people, how did we meet? And I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, she had braces, but it's like you have the same like face, but like now you.
Without the braces.
Without the braces. No, you know, and of course, like, you're more mature, like, you know what I mean? Like, because we were like little kids, like, running around, but I can tell that you've like matured, like really more so in your demeanor, I guess. You know, like you've experienced more life, you know.
Yes,
but in high school, we were just like joking, and you were kind of quiet, right?
I was so quiet in school. And now I'm like on Instagram, just like out there.
I know. So that's what I'm saying. Like when you like, it's crazy how years like you come into your own. You know what I'm saying? And so, but I remember that though. I was like, she had braces and she was quiet. And I was thinking, I was like, all this stuff, memories of class, and you were just like, but see, the funny thing is, something about me that y'all don't know. Well, y'all can probably tell by now. I love, of course, making people feel comfortable, making people laugh, right?
Right.
And I always go for my favorite people to go after are the quiet ones, because I feel like nobody really has heard them like laugh or heard them. And so like I do my best to like make them like laugh and really come out. And so I remember those days I just coming up to you and be like, hey, so this is this. And you would laugh and then be like, oh, no, I'm quiet. So just a nice memory.
I don't remember what class I just remember you from school. And I remember you being super nice all the time. So that I do remember.
Yeah. Trust me, I don't even remember. I just remember being in a classroom, but I don't know.
But I was super quiet, and in high school I was super quiet.
And let me ask, what broke you out of that, do you feel?
I don't know.
Interesting. There wasn't
I'm not
like
too sure, honestly.
Okay.
So I will be honest. So like high school, I was more of like I just wanted to get my work done and get out of school. Like I just didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
I love school, but I was just like, okay, grades are good, I'm out. Like I didn't try to make friends. I don't know why. I just was like, I just wanted to get out, like get in, graduate, get out. That was my whole game plan.
Yeah. Okay. And so kind of walk me through it, because like after high school, like how did you get, because if y'all don't know, she does real estate.
Yes.
Right. And so I know you were, like we talked about, you were kind of quiet in high school. And I know with real estate, that's completely on the other end.
It's so different.
Of the spectrum. So how did you like transition from being quiet to
like a realtor?
Yeah, realtor. That's
okay. did I? So when I graduated, I got
Okay.
into a receptionist job at a mortgage company.
Okay.
So I learned, I had to talk to people, obviously, like that were trying to get loans,
Yeah.
had to approve them, all this greatness. So then I just did that for like 5 years.
Okay.
Not a receptionist, but I kind of like moved up the ladder,
Got you.
got more comfortable, did a lot of networking for those companies, did a lot of training because I worked at a corporate office. And then I was like, I don't want to be in this office anymore. Like, this sucks, you know?
Yeah, I feel that.
Especially because, like, my son, he's huge now. He's, like, bigger than me. But
Yeah, he is.
He was in elementary, so I was, like, having to miss, like, programs and things. So I was like, man, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
So I literally was like, what's the next best thing that I'm going to make, like, equal amount of money at least?
Okay, yeah.
So I got into real estate because that's kind of, like, what I knew straight out of high
Nice.
school. So,
okay.
it took a lot of guts though to like do your first couple videos.
That's
but
what I'm thinking.
I mean, people applaud you for it. Like people are
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god, like that's inspiring." Because I'm just like, I stumble across my words sometimes,
Yeah.
but obviously I gotten a little bit better. So
Got you. See, and
So,
that's so crazy. That's so crazy because I
just
never
gotta
would have
put
thought.
yourself out there.
Yeah. That's how they say it too. Just put yourself out there, and people are
Mhm.
like, "Mm."
No.
But see, you did it, and I think I like that it was a slow progression. You know, it wasn't just
Mhm.
like, "Now you got to go out there," but you were able to, like, even with your real estate stuff, you were like, "Okay, start as a receptionist," and it was like, it pulled me out of, okay, I have to talk to people. I
Right.
have to, and then it got from I have to I want to, you know,
Mhm.
and I think there's a lot of people in their shells that are like, nah, I can never. And it's like, nah, you just take that first step where it's like, you got to put yourself in situations where you kind of have to, and
Yep.
then, you know, you learn you love it. So
That's the truth.
perfect. But look at you. All right. See, we're already like 20 minutes in.
But
No, I'm
we
just
haven't
playing.
did the bowl yet.
That's true. Oh, here we go. Okay. Speaking of the bowl, let's start
Okay.
right now. Okay. So you can pull from the bowl.
Okay.
You can mix it around however you want to. And then we'll see how it goes.
Can I peek?
No.
Okay. Oh gosh, I had one, but I felt weird about it. Okay, I'll pick this one.
Okay. What you got? And then just say it in the mic so they'll know.
Oh gosh, it
Which-
says peace.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take that from you. All right. So, like I said, I always ask a question. So what gives you peace in this time? Like with the world, you know, everything going on, what is kind of your peace?
That's a hard question to answer. My life is pretty chaotic.
Well, then you
So-
should have a really good answer.
Right.
Yeah, you
so,
have a good answer.
Honestly, what category?
Okay. So let's talk.
Like family, career.
Yeah, let's start. Let's do each of those, and then let's do like one by one.
Okay.
Yeah, you're free to. Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, peace for my career. I'm in the office like at 7:30.
Okay.
I don't think any other realtors are in the office or go to an office. But I'm in the office at 7:30, and that's kind of like my quiet time, like planning my day, planning the next day, planning just everything. So no, my phone's not ringing at 7:30, so that's my peace.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's
Okay.
good.
Family peace. I would just say when I'm off of work and I'm just
Okay.
home. So
Yeah.
that is peaceful.
That's peaceful for you.
Yes.
And so do you because I know you have to have hobbies. No, you're good. You're good. I know you have to have hobbies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's something that is a hobby of yours?
Okay, you want to know the truth?
Hey, hold on. Wait. Before you start, it better not be nothing crazy.
No, it's
No, I'm just messing with you. Go ahead.
kind of.
Okay.
I just am like super. I'm at a point in my
Okay.
life, I guess, that I feel like I can't slow down.
Okay.
So
That's
like
interesting.
hobbies, my hobby would probably be like studying the market or like
Okay.
something real estate related. Not
Yeah.
so much like what I normally focus on, like home buying, home selling. It's more
Yeah.
just like investing into real estate and like different markets and learning other ways about how people are buying homes and investing into them.
Yeah.
So like my hobbies right now are like Airbnbs, doing research different states, buying homes in different states. So
Okay.
it's kind of like, that's why I'm like, it's a little crazy because it's
Okay.
just like work.
With
you
your
know?
work.
I
Yeah.
don't really have like a knitting
Yeah.
hobby or like anything like
Got
that.
you bird watching.
Like bird watching,
Okay,
you
yeah.
know. I do like to travel, so
Okay.
that's something I promised myself like this year. And I did travel like a lot this year. So.
Okay, good.
So
What's
that was good.
What's your favorite place that you went?
Oh my gosh, Sedona, Arizona.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
I've been hearing about Arizona so much, and I'm like,
you have
I
to
gotta
go.
go. Right, and that's the next question. Yeah, that's the next thing I hear. So you what is it about Arizona that really?
It's peaceful.
See?
No, seriously.
See, I did that.
Yeah. It wherever you're
That's
looking.
you. This is you. There you go.
It is peaceful. It's so pretty and like it's
Yeah.
so quiet and there's like a lot of nature. So I love nature too. So hiking, it was just
Okay.
it was like the best trip I've ever been on.
Okay.
Seriously.
See,
Yeah.
and you know what's interesting? I love that answer because I like how we've kind of opened up another part of like your hobbies. Because
Right.
you think about it, when you're free from, not free from, but lack of better words, when you're free from real estate,
Disconnected.
disconnected, there you go.
Yes.
When you're disconnected, you notice that you were like, oh, I go hiking. I love to look at nature. I love to, and
Right.
see, I found that a lot of people, I know that work can become your life a lot of times. But I've, like when they say you got to get away from it all, and everybody's like, nah, I got stuff to do.
Yeah.
But when you really do get away from it, what's inside of you, like, oh, I love nature. Oh, I love
Yeah.
hiking. It starts to just pour out of there. So
right.
I
That's
thought
the
that was
truth.
interesting.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Look at you. Okay, so that's good. That's good. So let me ask, as far as like your piece and stuff like that. Let's go to the other side of that.
Okay.
Now, as far as like stresses. Now, I know there's probably I've heard. Let me tell you, I've heard so many people when it comes to real estate. They're like, man, I want to be a realtor. I want to be a realtor. See, I knew it. I knew it was coming.
Man.
So I wanted you to kind of tell people. Because they always know, like, because they think, like, oh, I'm going to be a realtor. Like, I'm going to be making big money. I'm going to be like, but I want to talk to the deeper side of the stresses of being a realtor and some of the, yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. So on my Instagram,
Okay. Very nice.
I have a highlight video about, it's kind of cutthroat a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
But I'll, like, soften it up a little bit. But I
Nice,
do have a highlight. It kind of talks about becoming a realtor and like people's perception of it and the reality
That's good.
of it. Yeah.
Good content.
I will say it's stressful whenever how can I say this? Oh my gosh, hold on, let me think.
No, you're good. You're good. Look, hey, we chilling.
We're chilling, okay.
We're chilling. You good.
I think it's only stressful when so we take on people's goals, right?
Right. Okay.
So like say you came to me, you're like, my goal for this year is to do this.
Okay.
It can become stressful if I say, okay, you have bad credit. You know, you need to keep a job, right?
Yeah.
But listen, I don't turn people away.
Okay.
Like I don't ever do that.
Oh,
So
nice.
this is
Okay.
where I create my own stress, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't turn anybody away. I just
Okay.
kind of say, okay, well, this is what you need to do. And if you're serious about it, every like month I'm gonna check in with you and see like,
Are you doing
are
these
you
things?
doing these things that I told you?
That's good.
So it is a little frustrating when people don't follow through with that. Because I'm like, I really took a lot of time out of my day to like figure out what you need to file on taxes and
Yeah.
you know how you need to do this and just like a game plan for you. But when people do that, because a lot of them do actually, you know, they're pretty
follow
serious
through.
about it. So when people do follow through, the stressful part is just like, okay, they did everything I said. Now we got to go to the lender.
Yeah.
And now we got to like go over another road hump. So
That's right.
for the most part, since I did that for 5 years, like the
Okay.
lending side, I'm pretty well versed and
Yeah.
know exactly what they need. But it becomes stressful when, for me personally, it's not about like the dollar. You know, it's about
Yeah.
like, okay, I helped this family do something. And most of our generation, because we
Yeah.
went to school together,
That's right.
they're like first-time homeowners, like for
Yes.
their whole family.
That's right.
You know, especially like my Latino people.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
feel
gosh,
that.
yes.
Yeah, I feel
we're
that.
probably the same boat. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's right.
But it's that's why I do it. It's
Okay.
just because like I have this goal of theirs on top of my own personal goals, and then I'm like, oh, I
Yeah.
can't like fail you, and like I don't want to discourage you, but like here's your game plan. So
yeah,
I think that's the most stressful as far as when it comes to like clients and like taking on people.
I got you.
Other stress is just like if you're not like a hustler, then
you're
gonna stress yourself out.
Right. yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'll kind of tie those things together because I think that's the thing that gets a lot of people is, you know, I was talking to somebody. It's interesting. I was talking to somebody about that today at work, and we were talking about some like family, like relationship stuff that they had, right? And they were like, man, I'm just trying to get this person to like realize they got to go forward and realize. And I was like, you know, the interesting thing is the hardest person to move is somebody that doesn't want to move. And I noticed, like, you could even see, like, in movies and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
When they're trying to drag somebody, rather than when somebody's, like, they got them over their arm and, like, walking them, it's one is a lot faster than the other, you know? And so I've seen that we, even in society, I feel like we've kind of gotten to a point in society where a lot of people are, like, it's like, for instance, if I came to you and I was like, yeah, I want this $1 million home and I want this carport for my Lamborghini. And it's like, okay, like, what do you do? Yeah, you know, like once this McDonald's thing takes off, oh, well, I'm going to make you a game plan. No. I don't need a game plan. Just give me the house. And it's like,
you can't.
You can't.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And I have a girl that I'm really close to, kind of like a mentor.
Okay.
She always says this saying, it's like, you could take the horse to the water, but you can't make him drink it.
Perfect.
So, like, that's kind of instilled in my head because I would get, like, early on, I've been doing this almost 6 years.
Yeah.
But early on, I would be, like, so, like, why didn't they do this? Do they not want this for themselves? Like, you know, they told me, like, people cry to me sometimes, like, this is why I want to do this. And I'm like, I feel you, girl. But then, like, I'm like, what's going on? Yes. Yeah. Like, I'm pumped for you.
Yeah,
you know?
I know. Yeah. So. Yeah, and people just, it's one thing to say it and one thing to do it, like you said. Like, and I think people are in a place where they have big dreams. And you know what's interesting? And then we'll pull again from the bowl.
Oh, crap. You pull more than one time?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, geez. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, see. See.
Okay.
Gotcha. See, we done already started now. No, I'm just playing. No, but something that's how it was for my podcast. Because I realized, and I had a conversation I was talking to my dad and my sisters, and I was like, you know, something that, you know, and, you know, I'm with the Lord, you know, we rolling. Yes. So I was talking to God about it, and he was like, look, if you don't do it, it's never going to happen. And he was like, but you have to realize, like, you make your own future. So he said, if you never do it, you will never get there. And I was like, okay, Lord. And so I started on the journey, and I was like, man, but how am I going to get this and that and that? And he was asking me, he was like, well, what do you have in your hand to work with? And it goes back to what you were saying about your game plan, because I feel like you go and you're like, well, what do you have available that I could work with?
Right.
And I found that people a lot of times will bury that stuff and be like, nah, I want that. And it's like, you don't have that though. What do you have that we could work with?
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying?
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's literally just like deep diving into their life and like,
you
know, sometimes you dig out some roots and sometimes you're like, okay, now I know you're really motivated.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Or, hey, she's going to need a little push, you know?
Yeah. And it's just a little bit. Yeah. And you can see other people's tools better than they can sometimes, you know? It's like, all you need is that hammer, you know? And they're like, nah, I don't know. It's like, nah, the hammer will do it. So that's good. All right. That's good. See, you're doing fine. Look, 1 hour in.
Are we
I'm just playing. No.
Oh, my God. I'm just talking a lot.
No, I'm just playing. No, you're good. Okay. So let's pull from the bowl again. Let's see what you get.
Okay.
Oh,
How many times do you pull from this bowl? Until there's nothing?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, career.
Career? Okay. This is what we're going to do.
Am I making this too real estate for your podcast?
No. This is good. This is good. I feel like, but we'll probably skip this one because you kind of talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool.
Another one.
All right. Let's see what you got.
Let's see. Advice. Oh, Lord.
What
Advice for your younger self.
Oh, okay.
Oh, gosh. This is going to be hard.
Yeah. So let's just say this is a scenario.
Okay.
time travel. Love time travel movies.
Okay.
Go back in time. You get to talk to your younger self. What?
You're gonna make me cry. No.
See, no. That question
Red
goes.
table talk.
No. White.
White and gold.
There you go. Good.
Cut this part.
Yeah. No copyright. No. But see, it already got you. That's crazy.
Okay.
I told you.
Okay, I'm back to normal.
Hold on, before you start.
Okay.
I told her. I was like, yeah, people be crying on the show. We get to the bottom of it. But you know what?
I'm gonna pull another card. No, I'm joking. Sorry for interrupting.
No, you're good. You're good. This is how we do it on the show.
Okay.
But yeah, go ahead. Back in time.
Ready.
All right, you got it.
Younger self.
Mm-hmm. You're good.
I can't even talk.
No, you're good. You're good. You're
Okay.
good. Yeah.
Honestly, I would just say like trust yourself.
Okay. That's good.
That's it. Trust yourself, and you just whatever you fall into, you gotta keep it moving.
Keep it
That's
moving.
It.
I feel that.
You're making me cry, Chris.
I'm not doing that. No, but it's interesting. You know, and because I said, I was, God really gave me this idea because he said there's some people out there that people see on like Instagram and stuff, and they see their lives, their highlight reel, and he said, but I want you to get to the bottom of their true life. You know what I'm saying? So. Then you starting to hit me.
I know. I'm sorry.
No.
My eyes are already watering on its own, and then here we go.
Then you said, no, you're good. You're good. But this will and so I'll ask you. Sorry to dig in, but it's it's needed, and you let me know if you get uncomfortable. We can.
Okay, I'll let you know for sure.
Yeah, but I would ask because I think a lot of people. The quote about we learn basically from our history so we don't repeat it.
Right.
And so, even going back to your younger self, I know a lot of times people think like, oh, I would tell my younger self, look, you got to invest in real estate. You got it. But I found that a lot of times that stuff is already in them. But the things that they need is, forgive this person. Have confidence. Hey, forgive yourself. Things like that.
Sure, for sure.
And that usually, makes the way better than in crypto. It's gonna be crazy. It's like okay.
Okay, cool. I should have bought the Bitcoin.
yeah.
Things like that. No, I think because you have to build those things.
Yeah.
You can't just be like. Tell your 7-year-old self she better buy a house at 18. That's impossible.
Right. So what? So let me ask you. Because it sounds like you have more so some things, some internal things, like some mental things that you would say, all right, this. So you could talk about that just for a little bit.
Internal things?
Yeah, because I noticed you were like, just trust yourself.
Just trust yourself.
Yeah, but could you break that down just a little bit for them?
Okay.
All right.
You know what's crazy before I answer that?
No, you're good.
I'm going to you could cut this out.
Everything goes in.
No. Oh, shoot. So I'm actually in January going to be releasing a subscription, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Deep dive into me, who the hell I am,
Wow.
So this is crazy because I've already kind of recorded something similar to this,
Yeah.
What do they say? Meant to be God.
Yeah.
God. That's why God put you here.
Strategic. He's strategic.
Right. So
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Before you, I gotta go off of that too.
Okay.
Real quick, and I'm gonna let you go back.
Go ahead.
That's God. Okay. Let me tell you.
It's true, right?
It's true because God is strategic. Because I'm telling you, I was one of my guests that I had dropped out. Right.
Okay.
Now what I thought of you. Mm-hmm. Well, God told me, but I was scrolling on Instagram and I follow so many people now. It's hard to catch every post. And so I saw your post, right? And then I was scrolling and God was like, whoa. He said, that's who you need. I was like, okay, get Ashley. And so when I scrolled back up, it was gone because it refreshed. And I was like, oh man. And so I was trying to find your name and stuff. And then I went to old posts, how they say view older posts. So I saw yours and he was like, I want you to reach out to her. And I was like, okay, cool. I was like, I love her, cool.
Yeah.
So I reached out to you. And it's funny because before I reached out to you, I was telling my mom, I was like, God told me to get her, and stuff like that. And she was like, oh, okay, good. Then you texted me and you were like, "Oh yeah, we got a podcast studio." And I told my mom, and she was like, "That's crazy." I said, "Mom, I'm telling you, I can't make this up." And it's like God will know. He'll set you on a course, and that's why I said what you said was so important about how you try and help people.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of people that aren't willing, and no offense to those people, but it happens. Sure. It happens.
Yeah.
Because I've been guilty of it. Like God will put us on a course, and He'll say, all you have to worry about is this part right here. Just start here. I'll do the rest.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
That's the truth.
That's it. Yeah. And so I want to get back into that deep dive of you too.
Okay.
But yeah, you can kind of talk about it.
What did you ask me?
You're good. Hey, watch your mouth.
I know. Sorry.
No, it's okay. No, I was asking you about like you talking to your younger self.
Oh, okay.
And, okay.
So honestly, I'm not the person who like wishes like I could go back to last week and wear a red dress instead of the black one.
Yes. Okay.
I'm just more of like, hey, that's what I told myself I felt comfortable in. Like that's just what I had at the time or whatever the case is.
That's right.
So you work with it. So the reason I say just go with it and like trust yourself is because, okay, you say like God and I believe in God, but also like always say the universe, you know. I wasn't raised, religious or anything like that.
I understand, yeah.
But I respect everything. So I just feel like, hey, God or the universe always leads you in the right way. As long as you put in the work and as long as, like, you trust yourself. So it's hard for me to kind of dig deeper in that, honestly.
No, that's fine. No, that's perfect. I just wanted you to talk about it a little bit more. And it's interesting that you say that because a lot of people will ask me about like religious stuff, and they're like, what makes you believe in this and this? And I was like, the interesting thing about it is I was like, I'm not really I'm more so a relationship person. I've always been. And when I saw that part of God, he was like, nah, it's about relationship. It's not about religion. Because I think that's what's getting a lot of, especially Christian people these days.
I agree 100%.
Okay, yeah.
I agree 100% with you.
And that's what I was going to ask you because I think, because I always like to talk to people about it because I know there's a perception of a lot of Christian people, and it's because we've been shooting ourselves in the foot, and I'm trying to get us together. I was like, guys, we can't be moving like this. But, I always, when people ask me, I always say, I think about it like a relationship. I think about it like a friend. And I think about it like everything that I've seen in my life has been, God will check me, and it'll be like, hey, go do this. And when I don't do it, he's like, see? Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And I'm like, and it's like a father figure. And so that's why I tell people, and I don't like to get wrapped up in like, oh no, you need to do this, because that's not what it's about. And I'm like, y'all, my brothers and sisters, we got to get this. You know what I'm saying?
And I like that you said it's not. You didn't say it's not, but there's a difference between religion and relationship.
Yes, that's right.
Because religion comes with, maybe I should not say.
No.
Cut it out.
The laws and the rules.
Yeah, it just
you're
comes
right.
with like all these rules.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's kind of like everybody's different. The world is completely different.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just how I believe it.
No, you're good. You're good. And it's funny that you say that, and then we'll kind of just go forward. But because I've seen that, that's why I need to do more, because I have a perspective of it that a lot of people would be more so like, okay, I understand that. Of course, like everything, like if you look at the country, there's laws like, hey, you can't run around naked. You can't do it. You know what I'm saying? And so in that same way, there's laws, that. But it was always God being like, it's not about laws. It's about love. It's about relationships. And that's how you connect to people. He said, I don't want to connect by rules. So, yeah, that's my thing, man. That's my thing. Yeah.
It's just off topic a little bit.
No, you're
same
good.
topic. But my husband, before I met him, he was super religious. Like, he went to church, like, by the book. Like, he was in church and like he participated in all this stuff. Yeah. I don't know much about any of this. So
no,
I'm just
you're
saying
good.
Stuff.
Hey, I understand.
But no, like when we got together, we've been together 10, 11 years.
Oh, good.
So when we got together, he kind of like didn't do any of that. So I'd kind of tell him like, don't you like I don't want to be like the reason you stop going.
Yeah, I understand.
But he's like, no, it's my relationship. Like my relationship's different from like me going to church, and it's kind of like similar to what you're saying. So.
And that's
like my relationship with God's different, or like it's strong, or like, you know, he has a relationship, but he doesn't necessarily go to church every Sunday or
right. And you know what that is because that's really what it is. It's the relationship, because you kind of go to a place where God will lead you out and be like, hey, I want to come talk to you one-on-one. You know, it's like, oh, okay. And so I think a lot of people can be afraid. Not afraid. I won't use afraid, but they can be kind of like, I don't know, with that, because it's like sometimes church life is holding them together. And I've been like, that's good. I mean, good. You know, you come together and stuff like. I was like, but you gotta get that outside, because we're supposed to be connecting to the world and telling them, hey, this is how we move. But it's hard to do that when you're kind of in the church and like, hey, y'all need to, and it's like, nah, you got to come out and talk to the people, and you got to,
right.
Cool. Interesting. That's a good, see, you're doing good. See, 2 hours in. No.
I know, right? Jesus.
Okay, so let's go ahead and pull from, I'm enjoying this.
Oh my gosh, Chris.
Yeah.
I'm going to make you pull next.
You going to make me?
Yes.
You can't do that on my show.
Oh, dating.
Dating. Okay.
Oh man.
Let's.
This is kind of not hard.
Okay.
For me.
Yeah.
What do you want me to say?
No. Wait. It sounds like you're already thinking of something, and then do you already think of something, or do you want me to ask something?
You ask.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Because my questions usually go like another way.
Okay.
But we usually come back to what you want to say.
Okay.
So dating.
Okay.
Now, let's talk about it with what you've seen now, because you're kind of out of it. I mean, you have your guy. Super out of it for years now. But have you seen where dating is now?
No.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And I want to say this too on that right there.
Okay.
Is I've noticed that when people aren't in the dating, they don't know what's going on, because it's like, why would I know?
Yeah.
And so basically this, I'm gonna give you the setup.
Let's see. Let's go.
Okay. I'm gonna get your opinion on it.
Okay.
So this is how dating is going now. It's a dating thing where nobody wants to lose. Basically it's, okay, I'm gonna see if I can get this girl for the least, so that she doesn't finesse me, like doesn't play me. You get what I'm saying? Like, all right, let me see if I can take her. Like, for instance, if I could take her for a walk rather than going to dinner, I'm gonna see if she really likes me, because I don't want to just be the food guy.
Right.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay. On the other side, the ladies are more so like, okay, like, I'm not going home with you, like, until you got to take me on this kind of date,
right?
Or else, like, you can't see me anymore. You know what I mean? You gotta have this much money. You have to do this and do this and this. And the guys are like, you have to look like this. You have to talk like this. So it's a lot of expectations put on the other party, but nobody is kind of like settling. Nobody wants to quote unquote settle.
Yeah.
So that's where it is kind of now. And I think now as far as like even long term, now people are like, what's the point of getting married? And you should just have like your circle of girls that you talk to. And girls are like, you should have your circle of guys. You don't need marriage. Okay. So from your perspective of being with someone for so long.
Okay.
Is that crazy? No.
What you just said?
What I just
Yes, that's so crazy.
Okay. I want you to talk about that. Yeah.
To me, it's crazy. But something came into my head.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I have a friend. Her name is and she's like great. She's beautiful. She's fit. She has her stuff together.
Okay, nice catch. All right, yeah, I caught that. Okay.
Yeah, she has. She's really like a overall like great woman, right? But she's. Gosh, I shouldn't have said her real name right.
No, Courtney LeRae from Louisiana.
Yeah, she's great. She has it all together, at least from what we can see and how I know her.
Yeah.
But she has a hard time dating.
Yeah.
And she's she's dated a couple of really, all of her. How can I say this without making it sound crazy?
No, you're gonna say exactly what's going on. Go ahead.
Right. Yeah. So she dates people who match her energy and her level. But she's also like on that level of her expectation. Yeah. Does that make sense?
I got you.
I think it's crazy when people aren't on that level but expect their spouse to be on, like, I need you to make six figures. I need you to like have it together. And yeah, I don't know. I could say I'll kind of go into my relationship. So we met in middle school.
Okay.
Never dated. Wow. We're just friends.
Gotcha.
And then I graduated, kind of got together. Yeah. Maybe a year after graduating, or 2 years, or something like that. Yeah. It's been forever. We're getting old here. Hey. We are.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
experienced. We're getting experienced.
That's a better word from old. But how we did it is, I had my career. Okay. He had his. Well, I didn't have a career. Okay, I had a job. I'll say that.
I understand.
We both had jobs. We both had the same priorities, I guess you would say. Yeah. We both weren't crazy and like kind of. We knew we didn't want to like waste time and waste life.
Yeah, yeah.
So we both kept moving up the ladder. He started his own company, while I was at like my employed corporate office job.
Nice. Okay.
So I kind of helped him do that. Yeah. And then when it was time where that was established, then I was like, hey, I'm quitting. I'm about to do this, which is real estate.
Right.
And so he like had my back. So I had his back when he quit his job, started his own thing. He had my back when I did the same thing. So we've kind of like grown together. So it's kind of, it's pretty cool. But I mean, he's still a guy. He still gets on my nerves. You know?
Of course.
It's still like the typical husband-wife thing. But I think we're a little different because we've grown together, like, in all aspects of life. So
that's right.
We've grown a lot.
That's you said a lot there. Which no, I'm saying it's great. Like everything you said, because that is the issue.
It is.
It's the issue because a lot of people don't want to grow together. They have expectations, like you talked about trying to help people, and they're like, "Well, I want this," and it's like, "Well, you gotta." You know?
Yeah.
And but everybody's like, I want this. And a lot of people will say a lot of it comes from social media, because now it's like, hey, like I could have this girl in California and she's a Hollywood star and stuff. Let me just DM her. And it's like, man, she didn't even respond. It's like, man, you're not doing,
Right.
And I'll speak to your friend from Louisiana. Courtney from Louisiana. I know I get her, and I know how do I explain it?
And it doesn't hurt. Oh, you okay?
Hold on.
Okay.
We're gonna pause real quick.
Alrighty.
All right, y'all, we're back. One of my cameras overheated, so life happens. Okay, so we're gonna jump back in to the relationship thing. Okay.
Yes.
Now. So you see, because you were talking about how your relationship is so different because, we're like older now and you had a relationship up to this time. And I was going to say the key about that is the key word in there was grow together. And I think a lot of times, like with your friend, right. I think she's at a level where you wonder, okay, what does growth look like from here?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so and a lot of times, like the guys that are on her level, a lot of women want those guys. But the key is what you said is unrealistically. Like it's like they're not doing what your friend is doing, but they're like, oh, we all want this guy too. But I'm gonna tell you something about guys. We don't.
I have 3 brothers.
So
I have no sisters.
You already know.
I understand. And I have a son who just started 6th grade.
Oh, see.
So I'm learning how your feelings work. But
yeah. And you know what? It's interesting because a lot of guys, we don't look at that, right? We're like, if she's pretty and she's nice to us, we'll figure everything else out. Like I'm telling you. And so I've seen it's really like even the people that are like the top celebrities, the top people around, wherever city, the big cities, a lot of them are kind of like, like, man, what do you like about her? It's like, well, she's like different because like she's nice to me and she treats me, and it's like, oh, is that? He's like,
Is that how she's different?
yeah, and really with guys, we're like, but I've seen on the other side, a lot of ladies be like, well, you know, he has emotional intelligence. He's intelligent. Like he has a plan. And we're like she's pretty and she's nice. Like she
leave all her good qualities out.
but that's the thing though.
Right.
To us, that's
Mm-hmm.
the good qualities. Like we're like, and it's like, oh, anything else? Like, oh yeah, she has a career. She's doing this, but she's really nice. Like it's like, oh, okay, you know, cool, you know. But I want to ask you, you know, even with your friend, like, what has she said? Because I know a lot of guys are like, what did she say? Like, what did she say is the big thing?
She's never really said.
Okay.
Trying to think. The only thing is, I feel like, okay, so she's never been in a long-term relationship.
Interesting. Okay.
So she's everyone has like some kind of struggle growing up, right?
Exactly.
So she's had that. So she's learned to grow by herself. So I think with people who've grown by themselves, they're like, if you're not going here, if that's not your goal, then I don't think that we can do this. Like I'm gonna try for like a month or two, but I don't think that this is gonna go far. You know,
that's a good point because of the work she's put in.
Right.
I understand that.
And that's kind of where I feel like when she always says like, I can't find, like they meet everything. Like they match my energy.
On paper.
On paper, like even emotionally.
Okay,
but sometimes it's kind of like, oh, he'd rather go out on Saturday than like, you know,
stay
in, not even with me, but like stay in and like just kind of like put a game plan out there. Like, you know, I guess priorities just come into play. So yeah.
That's a good point. I think, and you know, priorities really speaks to, like you said, like a plan and where you're looking for the future. And that's why I mentioned the point about the growth, because you get to a certain level, right? And for a lot of guys will be like, once, because it's
oh
funny.
My God, this is hilarious.
It's funny because like certain guys, like a lot of them are like, man, once I get good financially and like, you know, I'm in certain places and stuff, hey, I'm good. Like I'm chilling and stuff. And I found that, you know, a lot of the ladies are like, of course they'll probably want more and want different things, but sometimes it gets to a place where she gets like, they're at the same level and she might be like, okay, now I want to do this and this from this level. And he's like, man, I worked so hard to get to this level. I want to chill. I'm cool here.
Yeah.
And that's the tough part, is the growth.
That's probably what it is with her then.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, I've seen I could go this far. Imagine like, you know, in 2 years. And I get where you're saying too, because I know people who have like, I always hate to bring finances into it, but you know, they have good jobs and they're pretty stable.
It's important,
right?
Yeah,
That's
it's important.
A big piece.
It is.
So they're stable, but they're chilling. Like they're like, hey, I'm not going nowhere, you know.
Yeah.
But even me, on the other hand, in my personal relationship, I'm that crazy person.
That wants
like
to keep
I'm
going.
the one that's like, holy crap.
wait, just stop. Okay.
I'm the one.
Reset. Yeah. Reset. You're good.
I'm the one who's just kind of like, no, I gotta keep it.
Hold on. That's hilarious. Like,
I know, like,
because remember I said it started going. I was like, wait. If you stop, you could just we're good. All right, go ahead.
But
that's hilarious.
I'm the crazy one who's basically like, I got here.
Yeah.
This is great. I'm glad I achieved this.
Yeah.
But like now I want to do X, Y, Z.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I don't know when. That's why I said my life is chaotic.
Yeah.
I don't know when I get there, and then I'm like, bigger mountain or like a bigger something, and I'm just like, I want to do it. But my husband on the other end, he's like, do you not just see like we just did this? And I'm like, I know. And he like, for example, in real estate, personal.
Got you. No, it's good.
I bought a really nice home.
Okay.
Last year, and then like my plan is buying a home every year, right?
Oh, nice.
Crazy, but yes.
Wow.
So I bought a property. Beautiful. I would never move from it, but I know that my plan is you need to buy a home every year. So literally, we closed on another home on Halloween.
Congrats.
And thank you. And like November 5th, I was just like, I'm ready. I already know where like the fourth home's gonna be. And he's like, we haven't even unpacked any boxes. Like, are you serious? I'm like, yes. Like 8 months here, and then we're gonna go. Like, I'm just like so like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But then there's times where like, cause I drive a lot. There's times where I'm just driving and I'm just like thinking, I'm like, holy crap, like, I really just like did all this things that I said I was gonna do, and then I'm like, okay, maybe I need to go on vacation.
Just a small
you
one.
know,
just
like a little vacation to reward yourself. But no, so.
And you know what? Sense. And I think your friend, and not to bring it up too much, but I've seen there's a lot of ladies in that situation where, but there's a balance to everything. Let me say that first. There's a balance to everything, because I feel like even in your relationship, y'all have a balance where he's more so like, okay, you go forward with what you want to do and I'll support you. And I think that's what I talked about the battle, because now like guys and ladies are battling at that point, like, no, you got to follow me in my dreams. And it's like, no, you got to follow me in my dreams, right? And so there's this thing where nobody wants to compromise, but everybody wants their way. And I don't know what's going to change that.
It's ego.
It is ego.
It's ego.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough to get over that.
Yeah, it is. But I've learned something that's interesting, is it's better to do it sooner than later. Because I'm seeing there's a lot of people, like, we're close to like 30 right now. You know what I mean? We're going towards 30.
Yes.
And I found like after like 30, 35, you start hitting that 40, 50, and your life just kind of goes that way where it's like a lot tougher to connect to somebody. It's a lot tougher because you've experienced so much, you know? And so I think the word isn't settling. I think what people really need is they need to find out what they need. And I say that because I think there's a lot of people going on what they want, and less so because really what you need a lot of times doesn't really look like what you want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I say it like this. I'll give you this example. Then I want to pull from the bowl again because it's so good. Okay, this is what I'll say. It's like, so say you were eating a sandwich and you had never had cheese before or something. And then you're like, oh, I've always eaten my sandwich. Like, this is how I want my sandwich. And I was like, well, have you ever tried cheese? And you're like, cheese? What's that? What's cheese? I'm like, just try it on a sandwich. You're like, no, I want this. I want this. I'm like, just please, just, right? So you put the cheese on and then you eat the cheese and you're like, I never knew that I needed cheese on my sandwich. You know what I'm saying? And I think what happens though is we try those things early on in our lives when we're not mature.
Right.
And then so say for example, I'll use an example. I know I've heard a lot of ladies say this. They'll say, like, I need to date on my level because I've tried dating down before where I had the money and he didn't, and it went terrible, right? But you find out that was when y'all were like 20, 23, you know what I mean? Like 25, where it was like, you know, but I found like now that you've matured,
right,
it's not about dating down. Now it's like, okay, this person, I make more than them, but they're my stability. Like when I'm going crazy and I'm like, I want to do this and this, they're like, whoa, wait. Let's make a plan and you know what I'm saying? So I just want to see what you think about that as far as.
Oh, man.
Because I know that's a tough.
It's tough, but I think it's very possible. I think that's a good balance if ego is taken out of it.
Yeah.
Only if ego is taken out of it. Only because I feel like in heated arguments, things can be said. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Their money jab is tough.
Or I like a good friend of mine is in this situation.
Okay.
Another good friend.
Got you. Okay.
But with him, it's kind of like he hates the arguments, and it's like, well, this is mine and this is mine and I did this, and it's kind of like, I was your backbone, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean? Like, I'm the one who kind of like kept you a little sane, you know?
Yeah.
If that fits. That's probably a big word to say.
No, I understand. I get what you're saying. The context.
But I think it really works as long as ego's out of the deal.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we all need some kind of balance.
That's right. Yeah.
Whether it's financial, emotional, like physical, all of that. So I don't disagree with that.
Okay, that's cool. And the things that I've discovered in my lifetime is I've discovered that life is all about just balance. Like I've seen like certain people meet people, and it's like, how did y'all end up together?
Right.
But they're like peanut butter and jelly. Like they just work together. Yeah. And I think nowadays peanut butter is looking for peanut butter, and it's like, yeah, but it's just a lot.
That's a good point. Like that's a good reference.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is how we do it on the bowl. This is how we
Right,
do it on the
right.
bowl. That's what I'm saying.
It's a really good reference.
Thank you.
I have nothing to say about that.
Respect.
Yeah,
Okay. So let's pull one more time, and then we'll and then after that, what I'm gonna have you do is I'm gonna have you kind of look at the camera, give anybody some, give people like your socials, and then some words of encouragement. What you got?
State of the world.
Okay, so this one, we'll make this one kind of short.
Okay.
So basically with the state of the world, I just want to see basically from what you've seen on like the news and stuff going on, do you feel like the world has gotten worse or better?
It's worse, of course.
Worse, of course. I know.
It's so worse.
So sad. Yeah.
You don't have kids, right, Chris?
I don't.
Okay. I have to ask.
Yeah.
So, I never really care. Okay, weird fun fact about me.
Okay.
Ever since I was little, I never had, not that I never had, because I was born with, my dad did a lot for us.
Okay.
So, I never wanted to watch TV. I'm not a fan of TV.
Okay.
Till this day, it's hard for me to sit down and watch a movie.
Yeah.
Or an episode, because I feel like I'm wasting my life.
Wow, interesting.
Like,
okay.
it's so crazy. Well, this is what my husband says. He's like, you won't sit and watch a movie, but you'll scroll on Instagram for 30 minutes,
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, I guess it's equivalent. But I never watched TV, so I never really watched the news. Social media has come onto the news has come to social media.
To social media, that's right.
So I didn't really care about any of this until the school shootings.
Interesting. Yeah.
That I was like, oh.
Yeah. That's crazy. A little dub right there.
That is really crazy.
The dubs. Yeah, yes, I got you.
So I never really cared about, not that I don't care, but I just feel like this is the world. We just have to figure out. I'm going to go all kinds of ways, okay?
Got you. Okay.
But I feel like there's, you grow up in a certain, or for me, I'll use me. I grew up in a certain environment where, my family had friends who stole clothes and we bought the clothes name brand. We did all that. I was very young. And that's kind of my family doesn't do that, but we knew people, we grew up in the hood, I guess you would say. So
we got her. No, I'm just playing. We got her. No, okay.
I know, right? We grew up that way. Not all the time, because my dad he provided a lot for us.
Yeah.
So I grew up that way, but that's all my family knew, right? And then when I started getting into in high school, I actually was bartending, right?
Okay.
So before I got into the receptionist
job.
Yes,
that's true. I remember that.
I bartended in high school.
Yeah.
So
No, never mind.
I know, right? It's crazy. How did she do that?
Yeah. How? Okay, whatever. Go ahead.
But yeah. So I did that, and then I figured out, oh, this is a whole different crowd. Not that it was a better crowd, because it was definitely a different crowd.
Yeah, different.
It was a different bad.
Got you.
A different not good,
Got you.
So then I was like, okay, whatever. So then graduated, got into the receptionist job. I'm just gonna say it, I don't care. There's a lot of white people at that job, at that company. So then I started going to company events and then figuring out how they talk to people, and I'm like, holy crap, okay, this is a different kind of crowd,
Yeah.
Still maybe not a crowd I want to fit in with. It's just kind of experiencing these different crowds. So then I met a lot of people in that industry. Obviously, it's real estate.
Right.
So then becoming a realtor, you meet all kinds of clients and just other networking events. And rooftop parties or networking parties, and
Yeah.
you're like, holy cow, this is another group of people.
Yeah.
And then you just start like realizing like, okay, this
Yeah.
is, I don't know where I'm going. I forgot where I'm going.
No,
but
you're good.
but you get to that and you're like, oh, okay, this is maybe this is where I want to be at, or this is like the surrounding that I want. With in all aspects, like not so much income, but like comfort and clarity and like goals,
connections, and
you know, things like
mindset.
That.
Got you.
Mindset for sure. So where was I going?
Because we were talking about the state of the world, and you talking about your
how did I go over there?
Oh, well, so let's backtrack. Okay, so you said you didn't care about the news until school shootings. Then you said your family used to do this, and then you were going forward, and you were saying.
What would I say? Well, school. I'll go back to school shootings.
Okay.
So,
because you grew up a certain way, then you ended up here. So.
Right. I don't know.
All right, let's go back to school shootings.
School shootings.
We're gonna work it out.
I'll probably it'll come.
It's like a web. We're gonna connect. Okay.
So school shooting. Anyways, I just until I seen that, then I'm like, holy cow! Like, what can I do to like prevent this from happening? But you really can't. You know, you can.
I feel that.
You can try to put your like I do. I have my son on a transfer. He's not at a private school.
Yeah.
Because I have different beliefs about private school and how those upbringings are as well.
Yeah, I understand.
I prefer him being in public school, and there's a little bit of real life in public school.
Yeah.
There is. You see how a lot of different people live. You know.
That's
so,
right.
Anyways, he's in public school. So then I'm like, oh, and then this Texas shooting. So I'm like, crap. You know. But that's kind of where I kind of got into the news. It's just like, no matter what crowd, I guess that's probably where I was going. No matter what crowd you're in, like it's always, I don't know where I was going with this.
No, I think you got it. Like, so like whatever crowd you're in, it doesn't matter. Like the world is gonna basically be the world. Right. And so like there's only so much that you can do to prevent.
Yes, that's exactly where I was going. So like at different levels, there's different scarcity.
Yeah.
And then like up here, you think you're okay, which I think if you put yourself in a different position and, you know, not in a bad position, then you'll be okay. But I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody.
No, it does. It does.
But
camera done died again. All right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go for it like this. We're gonna go 2 and 1.
Okay.
And then we just gonna end it like that because too crazy.
Okay.
All right, so. Go ahead. Okay, so that's one thing that I'll say too is, you know, I've realized that, and that's why I've really had to really trust God in this time, because like I've seen that the world is always going to be the world, you know, and I found that like you said, at different levels you have different problems. Like how they say more money, more problems. Like because you could be like, man, when I make it up here, I'm gonna do this. And then the people you meet up here, like these people down here, they'll tell you to your face they don't like you. Right. These people up here, they'll plot on you and get you robbed. Like you never, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you said, like you'll be in a place where you're trying to prevent so much from happening based on, okay, this income will protect me. This, and really it's like, you know, God. I mean, for me, it's like only God can, you know, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
How do you feel about the world?
The world?
Or do you want to end this?
No. This is a good question. It's cool because I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna put it in there like.
Because I want to say something, but I want you to talk.
Okay. All right. So okay. Keep that. I want you to remember.
I'm gonna keep it for sure.
Okay. So for me, I guess it's a little different because of my relationship with God and Christ and everything. Okay. So I'll tell you this. The state of the world is exactly where I thought it would be. And I'll tell you this, and I'll tell you why. It's because, and I don't want to get too deep, but I'll tell you why. It's because as people, we try and make ways to be quote unquote good. We try and like, okay, if I give to charity, I'm a good person. If I help my neighbor out, I'm a good person. If I do this, now that's good, right? The only struggle part is when we're not thinking of it, then our true feelings come out. For example, so I could be super charitable, I could be super cool, I could be Susan. Somebody comes, slaps me in the face. Now, most people, you know where that's gonna go. Right. Or if somebody like curses me out, or somebody cuts me off in traffic.
Right.
It's in us to react. No matter, like, you could have training, but you never know what could pull that out of you. Right. The reason I say that is because a lot of people think, oh, so that's why Christians think they're better than everybody because they don't do this stuff. Wrong. This is the thing. We're like everybody else, right? So we can fall into that. I've seen people come out of church and be cursing at people in the parking lot. People being arguing, and it's like, yo, we're church people, right?
Right.
And so that's why I say it's not enough, and that's why I like to talk about it, because the state of the world was pretty much in the struggle since it kind of started. Like we've always kind of been in the struggle.
Right.
And so that's why I'm not really surprised. But I do know that there's certain people that there's some people that are just kind of going with the flow.
Okay.
And there's some people that want a different life.
Right.
Outside, you know what I mean? Like they want to I don't want to be in that, you know? And so for me, that's why I'm like, okay, well, God, like, what do you want me to do? And he's like, that's my whole connection to bringing people to, yeah. All right, so that's me.
Okay.
All right, now what did you want to say?
Well, no, I thought it was going to go somewhere else.
Oh, okay. Well, tell me, and then I can answer. I can respond.
No, I don't know.
Oh, no, okay. Go ahead.
I'll tell you, but you could cut it if you want to
cut
it.
No, okay, go ahead.
So I thought it was going to go more to like and like, I mean this with all respect and all that, right?
No, you good.
But I thought it was going to go more towards like the racist side of the world, you know, or like the divided side of the world.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say a story, which is crazy because I'm fair skinned.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm Mexican?
Well, I know because I know you. Yeah,
Do
but
I look Mexican?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good because I know mainly Hispanic. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wanted to say this because I thought you were gonna probably go in a different direction.
Okay. Interesting.
I got pulled over like 2 nights ago, right?
Oh, interesting.
And it was like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. I left a holiday party.
Yeah.
But I don't drink a lot, so.
Got you.
I left a holiday party, had to pick up my son, which he's a little bit taller than me now. You've known him since he was little.
I did, yeah.
He's like literally taller than me. And he sits in the passenger seat now. So I got pulled over. It was like dark as heck, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, holy cow, like I just don't want nothing crazy to happen.
Yeah.
But in my head, I hadn't got pulled over in years, right?
Yeah.
I'm just like, I felt a certain type of way because I'm like, my son looks like maybe like he's a adult.
Yeah.
You know, or like, I mean, he's my height and I'm an adult, right?
Got you.
So I was like, man, I just feel like some kind of way. And I was just like, oh God, please. Like, don't let it be like a weird situation or like, please don't shine a light in my son's face. Or, you know, I felt like that. But it happened to be this guy, Officer Murray.
Okay.
In Spring.
That's Officer
But
Murray.
he was like so good. Like, but I was just like, the emotions just running through, like.
I understand.
From the moment I was like, oh, he's a good guy. Like, he's a good cop.
Got
you know,
okay.
But he was pretty cool. So that's where I kind of thought you were going to go. But I'm like, I can only imagine, like, your shoes.
Yeah.
You know?
And you know, it's interesting. I've been pulled over before because my sticker was out. But
that's why I was pulled over. Just November.
Yeah, you gotta change the sticker. No, but they're cracking down because remember during the pandemic, like people had their stickers for like a year, 2 years, and they were like, it's fine, we're in COVID, stuff like that. But now, and God was telling me, he's like, change your sticker, and I was like, I'll get to it. They got me. Yeah. So, but he just gave me a warning. It was cool, and so he pulled me over. He was like, you know, I pulled you over. I was like. Yeah, I'm sorry. The sticker, he said, you got to get that changed. I was like, I'm sorry. I was like, I'm going to do it. He's like, okay, cool. Just give me a warning. I was like, all right, appreciate it. And even speaking to that, and I'll tell you, it was, it's terrible. Don't take my black card. But I'll tell you, it's interesting. Me, even with race, here's my thing. It's funny because I was talking.
Are you going to say it's how you treat people?
No.
No.
Okay. I am in a place where my connection to God is higher than my race.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because I found that the racism that's going on is feeding into how the world is. It doesn't come from I don't like your skin. It comes from hate. That's it. Like,
no,
you see what I'm saying?
Point
that's
blank.
where it comes from.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, God, I prayed about it. Like, man, God, like this stuff is going on and stuff. And he's always been like, look, he's like, you got to remember, I supersede all of that. He was like, all of the stuff that's going on is coming from like the sin. Like, it's just spreading, but it comes up in different forms. And so with the state of the world in that aspect, I used to be like, man, like black people, let's come together. Like, we could do this and this and this. But I found that it's not going to change. That's not how we're going to change it.
Right.
You know, like, and I've seen people like, all right, well, like they've had different, all right, we're going to protest, which did change some things. All right. We're going to like, shoot, we're going to start shooting cops. I've seen that too. And I'm like, okay, that's not the answer, you know? And so I've seen all these different ways. And I'm like, a lot, you've heard the phrase about people saying you got to get to the root of it, get to the root of the thing. And I found that everything we've been dealing with is surface level. Like, all the sickness and stuff going on, surface level. All the racism, all the hate, the shootings, it's very surface level. Because what it talks to is the interior. Because it says, what in you is this stemming from? Right? And it's like, okay, and of course it comes from like upbringing and stuff like that, but it's like, okay, let's go deeper. Where does that come from? And that's why, and it's crazy because that's kind of the stuff that I talk about when I talk about like, quote unquote, like Christianity, religion, stuff like that. That's why I'm like, no, it's about relationship, because it's like when you have love, that's how you can have a police officer not connect to that. Like, oh, these cops are doing this, but I don't have that. Like, I love people. And it goes completely different. Yeah, I'm a cop, but my path is different because I chose. You see what I'm saying? Right. So that's yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good point of view.
That's how I live my life. Actually, that's how I live.
Yeah.
That's how I live. But yeah, no, it's good. This is great. This has been a great podcast. I love this because you're just flowing. We're gonna see if we can get you back on season 2. We're gonna see what we're gonna do.
Man.
Get my sponsor. But yeah, all right. So we're gonna last thing I'm gonna tell you. If you wanna, there's your camera. You can just tell anybody, any like last words or any advice. Even if it's like real estate or anything you wanna tell them, that's cool too. But if it's like more so life stuff, that's cool. I like life stuff. Life stuff. Oh, before you do that, you could give them your socials too, and I'm gonna put it on the screen, but you give them your social.
Okay, life stuff.
All right, let me push your mic to you.
So I'll just say, should I look at you or the camera?
Either or. You could do either.
I'll just look at you.
Okay.
It's a little bit more comfortable.
All right, cool. Yeah, you talk to me.
So like life advice that I would just say is, like I said to the younger self, trust yourself.
Yeah.
Don't be scared. Like, if you ever read any of my Instagram posts, it's all about like, just jump. Something's gonna catch you.
Yeah.
Like, just jump. It's gonna work out. So that's what I live by. So that's kind of what I preach to.
Yeah, that's good.
Just jump. Don't be scared to try something new. Just go for it.
Good.
Yeah. And my Instagram is just Ashley A. Alexander.
Okay, bet. And I'm gonna put it in there either way. So yeah, they got it. And I'll put it in the description too. Okay. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna look at this camera because y'all know, as I put in the message, my camera died. Stay strong, but it's okay. Thank y'all for joining me for the Bold Podcast. Ashley, thank you. You've been a great guest.
You're welcome.
And that's it. Peace.
The Bold
Podcast.